lot of challenges going on across the country right now. But I do thank you for joining me for my weekly market and agent update for Tuesday, June 9th. I cannot believe it's June 9th already. All right, some really interesting data happening in the housing market right now. Crazy job numbers came in last Friday, and I'll talk about those briefly. Believe it or not, home prices are on the rise, and I just want to reflect back a little bit about what I'm seeing in the market anecdotally as it relates to this information that we're going to be talking about. So let's just jump into the jobs numbers. Really crazy numbers last week came out. So there's two primary jobs report numbers that come out. One is the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, and the other is the ADP report. These are two different kind of reports. They measure data differently, so you get different numbers. But they're the two leading kind of indicators of what unemployment are, and you'll hear economists and people debate how accurate each one is, and they'll like part of the methodology in one and not in the other. But here's the important thing as it relates to what we're trying to do in the real estate and the mortgage market is, if the BLS numbers are trending in a certain direction, we would hope that ADP is trending in the same direction as well. And lo and behold, that is in fact what's happening right now, and it's important. So they were estimating a BLS for May 7.7 million job losses. Well, the number came out at 2.5 million gain in employment. That's like a $10 million switch to the positive. I keep saying that, $10 million switch, 10 million employee switch to the positive. Which is really great news. Now, there's some revisions in the BLS number, so I would suppose that you're going to see some tempering of that number over the next couple of weeks, but yeah, it's a big deal. I also put in, for both the ADP and the job numbers, you can Google BLS jobs report and you can read the actual report for yourself if you want to dig into it, but it is certainly great news. If you look at the ADP employment report, they were estimating 2.76 million job losses in May. And the estimate was 8.7 million losses, and what came in was 2.76. Just again, a great trend toward the positive. So is this Pollyanna? Is everything going to be great? No, we have a long ways to go. We've got to recover the economy. But if you remember back when I was doing the updates a couple months ago, I was saying, there are certain little things that would be happening in the marketplace to signal that a return to strength. And one of those was unemployment, and it's good to see that we're doing better than what forecast was. So I think that's a big part, and I think as agents and buyers, sellers, and lenders, we have to look at that. And lo and behold, you're seeing programs become more available and some of the restrictions from investors loosening, and I think this employment report has something to do with that. If you look at the CoreLogic housing price increase, we had an increase of 1.4% March to April. That's exciting. Year over year, home prices are up 5.4%. Now, as you can see from my bullet here, we're expecting another rise April to May, and then we're going to see the expectation from HBI, 1.3% decline in the year going forward. I will tell you, I'm really interested to see how this actually fleshes out as we go through time, because is it going to be better than expected? Is it going to be worse than expected? The thing to remember is we had a really strong labor market going into COVID and the pandemic, and that is really important, and that's why I think we're seeing strength in the real estate market right now. So I'll tell you what, let's watch these numbers closely. What I'm seeing in the marketplace right now is I'm seeing a lot of purchase activity. I'm seeing a lot of price pressure, meaning I'm seeing and hearing anecdotally contracts coming in above list price. I'm seeing some interesting appraisal negotiations in the contracts where if it comes in short, the buyer's agreeing to pay the difference, things of that nature. So I hope those will temper. I really want to see a neutral market where buyers or sellers neither have an advantage over the other. I think that's important. But I personally am seeing a robust refinance and a robust purchase market right now, which is great news. And I think we're going to continue to see relaxing of guidelines on things like jumbo products, non-QM products, self-employment products as well. All right, listen, I really do appreciate you coming in and listening with me today. If there's anything I can do, don't hesitate to call me, send me a text, a message, or let me know on this topic. Wish you the absolute best of success, and look forward to chatting with you next Tuesday.